Thank you, listeners, for joining us. Today's Elko Live is a trip to the Elko County Mybrary, where summer reading is well underway. There are some new and exciting things on the horizon. And to fill us in, we have Kassie Antonucci. She's our Elko County Mybrary Director. Kassie, always great to see you. Thanks for taking time out as summer's really ramping up at Mybrary.
Yes, it's wonderful to be here, and we're in week 3 of our summer reading program. So if you haven't made it down to any of our library branches yet, now's the time to do it. We have activities going on, different programs, as well as you can earn prizes for reading books.
Well, and what's great, too, is summer reading, and this is a tradition that goes back, generations. Kids and families have been enjoying summer reading, again, not only in the Elko County Library, Mybrary system, for about 100 years, but certainly it's a tradition around the country. So if you've moved here, please know that summer reading is well underway. And the great thing, it's for grown-ups as well as the children, right, Kassie?
Yes, ages 0 and up. There is no cap. And one of the great things about our summer reading program, if you've maybe moved here recently from a bigger city, is it's free.
Oh.
We don't charge for the programs. We don't charge to join the actual contest, but reading minutes to earn prizes. Mm-hmm. And we get to do that due to all of our local sponsors. The Friends of the Library, they recently donated money for both the adult and kids summer reading, as well as our main sponsor, Nevada Gold Mines, who have supported us for so long, and we really couldn't do this without their continued support. And then we also have Total Eye Care. So they are hosting our annual elementary school coloring contest. So from pre-K to 6th grade, we have coloring pages at the library. You can come in through July 25th, have the kiddos color the different age group pictures, and then turn them into Total Eye Care, and then they'll be scored, and first place will win some prizes.
Nice. And that's the other great thing is you can drop in. The programs are underway, but there's no deadline. I guess that's the other good thing, because people do move around during the summer, or they've gone on vacation and then they get back and say, oh, do we still have time? You can still drop in.
Absolutely. You can register all the way through the end of the program even. And then the other great thing is recently in the last few years, we've been able to transition over to an app called Beanstack. So you don't even have to come into the library to give us all of your reading logs and stuff every week or anything like that. You can track everything while you're on vacation or at home.
Really?
And then come in at the end of the program to pick up prizes or anything that you want to do.
I didn't know. I have heard Beanstack talked about. I didn't know that's what it was. How cool.
Yes.
It's a free app?
It is free for the public,
Yes.
And it's provided to us through the Nevada State Library.
Oh, nice. Beanstack. So go, if you're a parent, if you've got a road trip, it sounds like you can really access books and other resources online, even if you're going camping, right?
Yeah. So, and the direct web link would be mybrary.beanstack.org. It's as simple as that.
mybrary.beanstack.org. That is so cool. Thanks, Kassie. Of course, we have books on the shelves, but we also have books in the cloud, which is amazing.
Yes, I actually just placed some large overdrive orders. So we have Libby. There's a lot of people that love Libby, and we're seeing that every year it's like 20% increase in the amount of people using our ebooks and online audiobooks, and we love it. Because I know not everyone has time to come into the library, or the hours are weird, especially if you work at the mines and the different shifts. So we do offer online books, audiobooks. You can put in requests the same way you would come in person and put in requests. Mm-hmm. And the cool thing about that is that the publishers have started offering new ways for us to do simultaneous checkouts. So not for all the titles, but for a lot of them, we're trying to narrow down those long, hold waits where you're 50th in line. Yeah, I worked really hard this last week to get those down, so you're maybe second in line now.
Oh, Kassie, that's wonderful. Thanks for your diligence.
No, it's great, and I love that people are reading. So I'll do everything I can to make sure those books keep moving.
And the other thing that people should realize is that it is fantastic that we have all this online opportunity. Take it with you, access it wherever you go. Be a member of Friends of Mybrary, which we're going to talk about. But we also need bricks and mortar, right, Kassie? We need these spaces and locations.
We do. So even though, you hear a lot nowadays that the internet's killing libraries and bookstores, it's not. Studies are showing that these younger generations are reading more than the generations before them. And a lot of people still prefer the smell of a paper book to a Kindle. Kindles are nice, or any e-reader device is nice because you can travel with it. But there's something about holding that paper book.
Mm-hmm. Going into a bookstore or a library is so much fun.
Oh, it is.
Yes.
I could live in one. There's a reason I work at the library.
Yep.
No, and that's why, too, libraries have expanded over the last few years. I think a lot of people, when they think of libraries, it's still this quiet place just full of old books, and you maybe go to do research. Or that's not what we're all about. We've really, especially with our rebranding into Mybrary, we've really tried to open our spaces so that you can come and just have a space to relax or meet with friends or work on any project, really. We offer more programs, and not just literary-based programs. We're offering art programs, computer programs, sometimes programs just for you to come and hang out with other people who are like-minded and just want a friend while they're working on their own thing.
Oh, Kassie, and that really brings us right to the next couple of topics, which include always looking for new things to do. The tabletop collection, which will be introduced by this fall, I guess. Yeah.
Yes. So we're super excited for this, or at least I am. So the tabletop collection, the board recently approved this. It will be board games. So card games, board games, not necessarily your traditional monopolies and things like that. Like we're looking at games that can be played by one person, games that can be played in a group of 20, a good variety of games, family games, party games, as well as the D&D storybooks. So we'll have player guides as well as, all the different campaign options that you can check out this way, which is something we haven't been able to offer before.
And that's great because it goes along with the college continuing education at Great Basin College. They did an introductory D&D, which I guess is kind of ongoing. I don't think they're going to want to let that go, but they can certainly continue or expand what they're doing at the Elko County Mybrary. Super cool.
Absolutely. And we also have our own D&D club.
Ooh, so there you are.
Yes. So we have, we call it the Mybrary Guild. We have an adult D&D group that meets the first and third Saturday of the month here in Elko at 10. It's a Saturday, 10 to 2. They're there the whole Saturday.
Wow, what fun. And they welcome newcomers?
Oh, absolutely. It doesn't matter if you've never played before or if you have already a built character that you want to just drop in the middle of the story, they'll make it work.
And it's also important to note that with certain considerations, you can bring snacks to Mybrary now. People are bringing in chips and sodas, right?
Yes. So
with rules.
There are some caveats,
Yes.
Nothing really stinky, sticky, messy.
Yes.
Not a full course dinner, but we want you to feel comfortable. So we have started allowing snacks and covered drinks. Everything except peanuts. So that's the one snack we ask people don't bring.
There are peanut allergies. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then basically in any of our libraries, except at the computer stations, you can sort of snack while you read.
Fantastic. So you can play D&D or any of these other new tabletop games that will be part of a collection. And we'd be happy to help you reveal that collection, Kassie, when it comes time.
Yes. So we've already been ordering the supplies. They are on the shelves. We're working on cataloging them. So now it'll just be a matter of unveiling it.
Wow, we are looking forward to helping out because, when fall and winter arrives eventually, that will be a perfect place for people to gather, whether youngsters or adults, to play those tabletop games together.
Yes, and we will be including puzzles.
Ooh.
So we know we have some puzzle lovers out there.
And there's some puzzle etiquette that goes with it. You got to find your group and your groove, right? Because
Yes.
It's like, no, we don't do this part. We don't do it this. Oh, gosh. Family puzzles are really fun that way. You do. You have to find your niche. But what fun. Puzzles, too. So do you look for donations of things like that, Kassie?
Yes, so actually a lot of the puzzles that are currently going into the collection have been donated. So
What do you do with a puzzle once you've done it, right?
Yeah.
Pass it on.
You only have so much wall space if you want to save them.
Yes.
So no, we are taking donations. We do prefer they be gently used donations and have all the pieces. But we are absolutely happy to take any board games or anything that would fit in this collection.
That's great. Kassie Antonucci is director of Elko County Mybrary. We're talking about summer reading. We still want to talk about the Just Desserts because the date has been set. But in the interest of these other new programs, Kassie, I am so excited about Discover Your Roots. Tell us about that, another new offering.
Yes. So if you haven't been in the library for a while, you might not have met our reference librarian, Jessica Cole. She comes to us from a historical library background. So she's, dug deep in those archives and all those different research projects. And that is her bread and butter.
Fantastic.
So in the past, we used to offer genealogical classes where we'd invite the community in and we would sort of teach you how to do your research. And that's sort of tough on a big level when you're helping each person try to sort through their own questions, as well as trying to use the software because everyone needs to look up something different. So Jessica is offering instead one-on-one classes. You can come in, meet with her. She can teach you how to do your own genealogical research. She can teach you the different resources that are out there. Or if maybe you just don't have time or it's a really, really big question, problem research, she's willing to do the hard work for you.
Wow. That is fantastic. Your concierge services at Elko County, that's how I feel. I told Kassie that before we went, because there's so much help at Mybrary. I mean, seriously, if someone is new, you don't know where something is, somebody at Mybrary is dedicated to helping find that information, just like this genealogy service. That's great.
Absolutely. And we love doing it. It's always exciting when we can help answer those sort of off the wall questions like, ooh, I know where to find that.
Yes.
So bring them in. We love it.
So these genealogy, this reference librarian who is extending these services, when do those classes begin and how do folks get signed up?
So it's actually available now. You can drop in at any time, or if you're wanting to make sure you have a dedicated spot on our website, we have a form called Schedule a Librarian. So you just go to our website, schedule a librarian, and then she'll reach out to you and book a time slot for you to come in where she can sit down and just dedicate time.
And this librarian might help you even with homework, right? Point you toward tutoring, that kind of thing.
Oh, definitely. She loves all research. She is sort of amazing. She's been going through all of our historical records, getting things in order, putting histories together. She's currently working on a history of the Friends for us. So we have a general timeline, but so much has been lost over the years as Friends, leave or move on. And so she's digging through every record she can find. And in fact, she wrote an article in conjunction with the museum about the first 50 years of our local library. And it was really exciting to see the different pictures and who was involved in planning this and just the changes that have been made in those first 50 years.
And then you can find out the story behind the woman whose portrait hangs in the library, right?
Yes.
Yes. I've always loved that. It's Mrs. Gallagher. Is that who?
It is.
Yes. Oh, that is wonderful. And that's part of the work, the ongoing work that Elko County Mybrary does. And I can just think, once you get hooked on discovering your roots, doing that family history, you can start small. but we have an amazing archive at the Northeastern Nevada Museum. And Ella Trujillo is again, another helpful person who by appointment can give you access to all kinds of local records and photographs and research. You can start the journey right here at Mybrary.
Oh, absolutely. And Ella is amazing too. We've worked with her in the past, and she also has a knack for just finding those little details you didn't know were hidden out there.
And she loves libraries too.
She does.
We are grateful for Ella. What a wonderful opportunity again to discover your roots at Elko County Mybrary. And we're talking with Kassie Antonucci, and she is our Mybrary Director. And we do know that you have a governing board. And so, as you mentioned, they've approved the board games, the different things. They had a board meeting recently. Anything that really jumped out from that board meeting?
So, it's a little bit early notice, but we are looking at some big projects this fall. One of them being recarpeting the building. So if you've been around these last few years, you probably saw our waterfall feature.
Oh, yes.
In our meeting room and our circulation area. Well, the county worked really hard with a contractor, and I think we finally are at a place where those leaks have stopped. We did have to replace some of the carpeting when we did the new circulation desk project, and that looks amazing. A lot of patrons have walked in and they're like, wow, it's like a whole new library just from this little spot of carpeting.
Oh, it's amazing what that can do.
Yes, but it's become very apparent the rest of the carpet needs to also be updated. So we are looking at that project, which would require taking all the shelves and books off the floor. It's a very intensive project. We've done it with one of our smaller libraries, never at the headquarters since I've been here. So we are looking at ways, though, that we can make sure we're continuing to provide services during this downtime.
So that's, just one of the projects. And then the funding for these projects. Kassie, it's a perfect segue into Friends of Mybrary, right?
Absolutely. So, we rely on a lot of outside funding. The county provides funding, and we're fortunate this year we didn't really face any cuts. But we are losing funding from the federal budget as well, possibly the state budget, depending on how hard they're being hit with some of their funding losses. And things like that supports our different programs, the Bookmobile, it really keeps us going. So the Friends of the Library are our fundraising arm here in Elko County. A lot of people mix them up with the library. They are a completely separate group. And they have more freedom than we do to go out and solicit those donations, to attend community events. And they are looking for new members. So if you're interested in joining the group, whether it's as simple as you just want to join the group and that be your donation, there is a membership fee of $25 a year. Or if you want to attend meetings, or maybe you only want to volunteer for programs, you can participate as little or as much as you want. Their next meeting will be July 9th at 5:30 in the Elko Mybrary meeting room there on Court Street. And everyone is welcome to attend, especially since we're getting ready for Just Desserts. They will definitely need more help for that event. And they are looking at, I believe they just locked down the date. It's going to be a little later than it was last year. It's going to be October 11th.
But that's nice because you're getting ready for holidays.
We are. And we really tried to coordinate so we weren't overlapping with a lot of other community events.
That's getting difficult these days. Yes.
So that seemed to be the most cohesive date for us.
October 11th is the date for Just Desserts. And just to remind people, this is a big community event.
It is. It is a 21 and over event. The library is closed to the public that day. It's for this private event fundraiser. It has raffle items. We've done silent auctions. We filled the library with desserts and different, adult beverages, as well as we've done herbal teas and lemonades. There's something for everyone. And it's just a fun time. We usually have live entertainment. Last year we had Troy Eden in there. He did it solo for us for the 4 hours. He just hung in there.
That was great.
So no, it's always a great time, and it is the largest fundraiser. They get a lot of the money they donate to the library through this event.
And now's the time to contribute, right? If you want to sign up to provide desserts, libations, or prizes?
Absolutely. The Friends are currently going through the local business list, so they'll actually probably start reaching out to solicit donations. But if you're listening and you just want to come to the library and, give something or sign up for a dessert, we would be happy to have you.
That's wonderful. October 11th is the Just Desserts date, so make sure you save that and then help the Friends because they've got a lot to coordinate to get ready.
Yes, and this year they're a little bit ambitious. They're hoping they're wanting to do it themed. So they're looking at sort of a 20s themed event.
Like the Roaring 20s.
Yes.
Yes, how fun. There's some flapper dresses out there. We see those occasionally, right?
Yes.
What fun. What a great community we have. I mean, that I was thinking of the Robin Hood Renaissance Fair that's coming to the Lamoille Grove, and that's going to be in September. It rolls right into this October event. And it's, a chance for grown-ups to get together for a great cause. And it's not alcohol related or centered. There are going to be plenty of non-alcoholic beverages, some fun libations, some desserts that also are sugar-free. They're always good in providing gluten-free desserts. So it's really all-inclusive.
And we also have like fruit and cheese and crackers and different things.
Yes.
There's always something for someone.
Yeah. I remember during early years of Friends, I could eat my way through just about every sugar dessert. Now I'm like, I would like to have some crackers and cheese.
Yes. Well, and also remember, there's always to-go boxes. The Friends sell to-go boxes at the end.
Oh, that's perfect. Yes. And all of these delicious delights, delectable desserts are to benefit Friends of Elko County Mybrary, which we need to remind people, this is not just Elko County.
No, we cover Eureka County and offer support to White Pine County as well.
So that's just a mention, a nod, because we want to make sure that people have access to all these materials, whether in person or online, throughout rural Nevada.
Absolutely.
Great outreach, Kassie. Thanks for reminding us. So we've talked about a lot of different things today. I want to make sure we're getting to everything. What else might be on your list in case we've missed anything?
Well, I do want to just remind people the Bookmobile is still down. I know some of our longtime fans, they visit the library every week to check on it. So I just wanted to give that update.
Wah, wah, that is sad.
Yes.
And what happened? We should remind people there was an accident.
There was a car accident. A vehicle crashed into the front of it.
No injuries.
No injuries. Everyone was okay. We were able to get the Bookmobile back to the library before the engine lights came on, but the front is pretty damaged. So we are working with the county's insurance to sort of investigate and determine what repairs need to be made and who has to do it because of the bodywork. It is an older, big semi-truck. It will have to go out of town. So there's a lot to consider there. So we're not ignoring you. We miss it too, and we're staying on top of it.
Accidents happen. That's why we have insurance. But that is sad because there are hundreds of people who rely on our Mybrary mobile, the Bookmobile, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
anything that the community can do to help get it back on the road, Kassie, or you just have to go through the process? Right
now, we're just going through the process, waiting to see what the insurance company says. After that, we'll know a little bit more. If you want to support the Bookmobile, attending the board meetings or attending any county commission meetings, letting them know how much the Bookmobile or the library means to you, or even reaching out to the state, because our Bookmobile is primarily funded through the governor's budget. That helps make sure that we can continue this service.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, Kassie, because just in the last few minutes, there's really no bad news to report out of the legislative session, but we are cautious going into some new territory, let's just say, right? And we want to make sure people are engaged because those personal stories, I can tell you, they make a huge difference when you tell the story about how something impacts your life.
They absolutely do. And a lot of the resources that we've gotten from the state are due to the stories that patrons have come in and shared with us and allowed us to share. We are required to give a yearly report at the federal and state level, as well as the biennial report that does go to the governor and all the legislators. That includes all of the progress libraries have made in Nevada, all of the benefits to the communities, who's using the library, how's it getting used. They care about those things and they do see it.
So whether you're a parent who's been taking preschoolers to the regular story times, right?
Yes.
And those still continue.
Those are very well loved by all people in all libraries. And it goes well with a lot of the initiatives the state has had over the last few years, is primarily getting kids to read before kindergarten or just literacy-based programming. And that has sort of informed a lot of the programs we've offered because the state is more willing to provide funding to support those endeavors.
We just have to hear from you. So whether or not you're taking a toddler to story hour, or maybe you're a senior citizen who just relies on actually having the physical books that you can get, or you can get on loan from any of the other branches throughout the state, or if you rely on the Bookmobile that comes to your ranch, or any outlying community, for example. There are so many different services. If you just appreciate the social setting that Mybrary provides, I mean, it's a cool place to go, and you can literally curl up in a chair and read during the day.
Absolutely.
We see that all the time. So, yes.
Yes.
So the best way to get in touch, reach out to the governors, because we do know there's the national ALS, right? And that's received cuts, right?
So the IMLS.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So the Institute of Museum and Library Sciences, it did face a lot of cuts. A lot of people were let go, and this was part of the overarching, budget cuts going on. And we do understand things need to change. Like our budget deficit is very high. No one will argue that. But that is the one federal agency that does fund libraries and museums. And both Mybrary and our local museum rely on that funding. So Nevada was one of 21 states that did file a lawsuit to try and protect IMLS. And right now we're just sort of waiting to see where that goes. Because of the new budget bill that is, I believe, is it on the Senate floor still, or did it go back to the House?
It's still,
it's
there's
kind of bouncing around.
Yes.
I know the House passed it, and then the Senate made changes, but in that bill, they are proposing to cut 100% of the funding to IMLS. And Nevada does receive about $2 to $4 million a legislative session for that. And our library does get a portion.
And the significant thing is that that is a lot of money. That is a lot of responsibility, but that money is often matched, Kassie. That's what's important to know. I mean, when you take away the money, you're taking away the match.
Yes. So every grant we do through IMLS does require at a minimum a 10% match from our local community, as well as the state has to match with the funds they're spending. It has to be related to similar services. So if they're using the IMLS funds to purchase databases, for example, they have to show they've also used state funds to purchase a match of those databases.
All right. So that's just the reality, the situation with IMLS, waiting to hear, along with the nonprofits that number in the dozens, if not hundreds. I mean, but certainly in Nevada will be impacted. But you can register your concerns with your representatives. Also, locally, county commissioners have public comments at the beginning and the end of each meeting. So Mybrary doesn't have to be on the agenda for someone to just get up, make a simple statement. You can have it written, whatever makes you comfortable.
Yeah, no, the commissioners, I think, are actually really great about listening to community feedback, and they're very kind when people come up. I know that podium can be a little intimidating. I've been there.
Yes.
But I think they're great. So you can come up as a group. You can write something up. They even have, I believe, an online comment as long as you submit it 24 hours before the actual commission meeting.
All right. So let's get ahead of it so that we can let our local representatives, the state, and the federal government know if it's something that you care about, speak up and work to protect it. Again, those original stories matter. Even if it's just a story of, I ride my bike to the library so I can check out books, so I can read.
You'd be surprised how many of your government officials have the same stories you do. And it reminds them of their childhood or things that they held important, that sometimes the stress of everything that's going on in the world right now makes them forget. It's not that they don't care, it's just that there's so much to care about.
Kassie, you're wonderful. Thank you so much. You bring us the stories that we care about. You are a safe haven, you and your staff, in these times of turmoil. And I hope we can do everything we can to help the library. Mybrary, becoming Friends of Mybrary is a good first start.
Yes. So, no, I'm glad to be a part of this community, and I really look forward to our library continuing for at least the next 100 years.
Kassie Antonucci is director of Elko County Mybrary. Check them out, 720 Court Street or online, elkocountymybrary.com or org. Oh, no, Mybrary.
Yeah, exploremybrary.org.
I am so sorry. I need to get, it's bookmarked. That's why, exploremybrary.org.
You can find us on Facebook under hashtag ExploreMybrary or @ExploreMybrary.
We went to a lot of work to make those changes, so I need to help you perpetuate. ExploreMybrary.org. And I know if you just do the Google thing, it'll get you there too.
Yes.
All right. Thank you again, Kassie.
Thank you.
And thank you, listeners, for joining us for today's Elko Live here on KELK.